Play online as your favorite Avengers.
Marvel Superhero Squad Online!
Free in-game code. Create your account today at heroup.com, then enter this code for 250 gold coins to use in the game.
MJR07.
Heroup.com.
Gazillion.
Marvel.
E for everyone. Comic mischief, cartoon violence.
Welcome, dear listener, to our podcast. Jeff and Rick present Unpacking the Power of Power Pack,
where we journey through each issue of comics that include a member of the most underrated Marvel series from the 80s while drinking beer.
Analyzing awesome and amazing adjacent adolescent adventures and absorbing alcohol.
I am Jeff.
And I am Rick.
A random banter is a large, designed cemetery with elaborate tomb monuments. Random banter time, buddy. Talk to me. Tell me tantalizing tidbits of trivia today.
I think that is a mausoleum.
Close. It's a... Keep going. What? Where do they go to?
Necropolis.
There you go. Necropolis. A city of the dead.
A city of the dead. A city of the dead. The dead city. City dead. Dead city. City dead.
Because all the random banter stuff I wanted to do wasn't working out for me, so I just had to grab Necropolis. And it saddened me.
That's okay. It can happen. It can happen. We can have choices being made. I was just getting a little distracted myself because I was trying to remember exactly why I chose this beer to go with this book. And then I think I just finally put it back together in my own head.
Okay.
But that's okay.
I'll see it later and then we'll figure it out.
I've been trying to get back on track. Daughter and I went on a 5-day trip through New Mexico. Lots of fun. We had a great time. Saw some very cool things. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about something I just did today. Wasn't my plan. I kind of knew that I would do something, but I got off work. Daughter and I ran down to the comic book store, something we do on most Wednesdays, pick up some comic books. And I knew that my favorite writer, Mark Russell, was going to be at my comic book store tonight, and he was going to be signing his new book, X Factor #1. He's writing it. Bob Q, another favorite comic creator of mine, is doing the artwork in the book. I'm like, yes. And Mark Russell's going to be at my comic book shop doing signings. Fantastic. So I got there, said hi to him, picked up my books. He had a couple other books there. I'm like, I've got those. No, I don't have those books that he's done. So I guess I'll buy those books too. Get him to sign it. And I'm talking to him for a little bit. I'm like, Rose City Comic Con is going to be coming up. By the time this episode goes out, Rose City Comic Con is going to be past. Mark Russell's going to be there too. I've got a whole bunch of books at home that I'm going to take down to Rose City Comic Con to get him to sign. Why am I going to do that when he's right here and I can save my back some time by not carrying those into the con?
Exactly.
I make this choice as my daughter and I are driving back home. We get out, pick up the books and go back down there, and I come back like, hi, we're back, and I put 1.5 foot of books down in front of him.
Yep.
I am not kidding. That is 1.5 foot of books that I put down.
I did that with the entire run of The Boys with Derek Robertson, and I apologized. He said, no, it's not a problem at all. I was the only one there with him, so I got to talk to him while he's just signing, and then on the issue number 1, he's like, who's your favorite character? I'm like, Wee Huey, and he's like, yeah, so he drew me a Wee Huey too.
Yeah, as he was signing, there's a couple other people that are there. Every time somebody else would come up to get something signed, he'd stop. They'd sign the other person. Not a problem at all. And while he was going through it, my daughter's helping me unbag these books. I said, hey, Rose City Comic Con, I'll buy you lunch. I'm going to be there. You let me know when. He goes, I will take you up on that. So all good. It's all good. But very happy Mark Russell and Bob Q are doing the new X Factor book. I have not read it as of this recording because I just bought it today. But I got that signed, and I believe I have got all of my stuff that Mark Russell has ever worked on signed. If not, I'm pretty darn close now.
You should be really close. You should
be very, very close.
Up to or close to up to date.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. That's pretty cool.
Neat. That is my little random banter, fun little comic book geek stuff. If you like an art writer, if you like an artist of comic books, get them to sign your stuff.
Yeah.
I don't do it to sell. I do it because I want to have it, and I want to put these up on the wall and show people the cool comic book covers and the things that they have signed. Plus, Mark Russell did mention, too, it is kind of cool. He'd stop at certain issues and goes, I forgot how cool that cover was. Oh my gosh, I love the storyline. Wow, this is a book I haven't thought about for a while. it was really kind of cool. He's coming up, oh, I love this Wonder Twin story. This is one where the Wonder Twins are doing a double dating. It's like, I'm glad I can bring this back to you. That's great. So
it's neat when you can bring something to somebody and they get to reminisce and they can, it's sparking all those memory synapses that haven't been fired in a little while. So that's really cool.
Now I also have a foot and a half of comic books I have to rebag and reorganize because they are completely out of order.
Well, you have a bed space there that you can spread them out on. It'll work.
What is up with you? What kind of cool things have you been up to?
Well, I hinted at it, but I got caught up on The Boys. So I watched the season 4 of The Boys, and I understand how people might have had some little problems with it because it did have slow moments going to it, and it did seem to have some gratuitous gore just for gratuity's sake. There is a ridiculous yet also amazing ice skating scene at an ice skating rink that is equal parts stupid and amazing. That seemed very much like sandwiched in there just to go like, here, have yourself some fun and just enjoy an ice skating rink. I really liked it. It's great. I think I've said before, I love The Boys comics, and I've really been loving the Amazon The Boys series. So excited to see where they take it, because they only have one season left, season 5, and I'm very curious to see how that explosively wraps up.
I only watched the first season, and I never quite got back to it.
Just the setting of the scene was just one of those things that quirks your head and go like, I don't know why this is happening here, but it sure is, and it's going on for a while, and it's kind of great when it's also kind of ridiculous. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Well, speaking of great, and speaking of gratuitous, and speaking of something a little bit edgy, I guess we'll do a little bit of a warning on this one. We may make some jokes that may get a little bit more in the PG area, just because of the content of this comic book. Nothing gratuitous, nothing too sexy or anything like that. Possible drug content. We'll admit it. Yeah. But we'll get into that in a second. For now, though, I think we need to move on to the next segment that we normally do, and that is, what are we talking about? Where are we at? What's going on? Jeff, give us a 2-cents replay from the last episode.
Reed was invited to Wakanda for a private reason, so Reed decided that it would make a great field trip for all the Future Foundation kids, which doesn't make T'Challa all that happy. But Reed does his Reed best to fix the situation by saying that he and the kids have come up with several ways that the impoverished backwater African nation can keep paying the bills now that all of their vibranium has gone inert. None of this pleases T'Challa, as they have plenty of money in the bank, and he then explains that he asked Reed here to help him with an animated skeleton problem that they have due to Anubis hunting the hidden heart of Amun-Ra that was entrusted to Wakanda millennia ago and made all of his countrymen so smart. Now that the Reed seriously showed up on his friend's doorstep with all his kids and told his host that he was a broke, 2-sentence replay is over, why don't you give me a beer and tell us what our power pack pick is?
My pleasure, my friend. Reach into that paper bag and maybe you can figure out why I gave you this beer.
Because I like to drink. And because this is Stormwalker Irish Red Ale. Falling Sky. Oh boy, why would you give me a beer called Stormwalker? With an Irish red ale, because we all know that Storm and Shuri and Sue Richards are fiery Irish lasses with red shocks of hair.
And Storm and her fellow friends are going on a little bit of walk.
Yes, they are. They're going to go for a little haze walk, a little cloud walk, a little gas walk, a little.
And quite possibly the sky does fall.
Yeah. Didn't even get to that part. There's some thunder and lightning. It's very, very frightening.
Yeah. So yes, this is Falling Sky by Stormwalker. It's an Irish red ale. This delicious Irish red features the only barley grown and malted in Ireland. That's what it says. We created this solid drinker to highlight this new malt and take you on a journey across the Atlantic. So raise your pints and toast to all that is Irish. 5% ABV, and perhaps I should have read that before I copied and pasted it. But that's what we got.
Story time on the can is Let It Pour, and the can itself is white with red highlights on it. It's got raindrops coming down and a red cloud dropping red raindrops. It says Falling Sky, and it's got a red cloud up top. Very simple. It's very nice. It's a very pleasant looking can.
And yet it was brewed and canned in Eugene, Oregon.
We do a lot of good beers here. Yeah, that's a red. It's got a lovely dark mahogany color to it. It's got a nice little head. Smells like a beer.
Irish red ale. It smells like a red ale.
It smells like a red ale, is what it really does.
It's got heavier wheat notes in it and malt notes, barley malt. So you're getting more of that than the hoppy or smells.
It turns into something a little more pleasant. It's a little rough on the front end.
Yeah.
But it does blend into a fairly nice flavor. But yeah, that's a red ale.
That's interesting.
It's got like a dusty sense going to it, like a dusty kind of like old attic kind of thing. Like you've opened up a room that hasn't been opened in years, and it's kind of got that cobwebby, kind of dusty, unused, uncirculated air kind of flavor to it.
That's the first bit, and then after that, it becomes a little more pleasant. You get more of those barley malts. Very smooth tasting after that, but that first hit is quite rough. You're right.
Yep. And then it's got a little tang that hits the front of the tongue, and then that fades away.
And then you're left with just kind of a nice chewy beer.
Yeah. It's got a very dry finish on it. I take a drink of it, and then I can kind of move my tongue around, and I'm like, that's rough feeling inside my mouth now. It's very grippy.
It really does have a feeling that you are at the end of some kind of farming, plowing session. Those fields are dusty, so you got a lot of dirt in the air, as well as all of the cut barley and wheat that's there.
Yeah. All the dried grass stalk clipping kind of thing.
And that's kind of what you're getting, is you're just getting that taste of that air, the dusty...
It's that chaff.
Yeah.
That wheat chaff.
But it's not bad. I don't want that to be a bad thing. I mean, this is one of these memory-inducing kind of flavors.
Yeah, it's just distinctive in a way that I'm not normally associating with a beer.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's the only thing. It's noteworthy in the fact that it's there.
Yeah. Not too bad, not too shabby. We will drink that through the rest of the night as we plow on through an August night talking about a couple of Fantastic Four comic books, starting with this one. But which one is this? Do you know? Jeff, do you know which book this is?
I do. I have the information right in front of me, and it is Fantastic Four, issue number 608, September 2012, City of the Dead. Credits. Writer, Jonathan Hickman. Penciler, Giuseppe Camicoli. Inker, Carl Kiesel. Colorist, Paul Mounts. Letterer, Clayton Cowles. Editor, Tom Brevoort.
Featuring Mr. Fantastic, Black Panther, the T'Challa version, and Black Panther, the Shuri version. Invisible Woman, Franklin Richards, Valeria Richards, Artie Maddox, Alex Power, and Storm!
Okay, we pick up where we left off from last episode. T'Challa and Reed are looking down a deep well, probably not spitting into it or dropping stones like we definitely would. There's even a 25% chance that we would drop a quarter into it and hope for the best.
That would be 110% true. We may even have a quick talk about the effectiveness of using it to hide a body.
My counsel has advised me not to agree or disagree with that comment. Needless to say, and all of our jokes aside, this is a sacred place that is older than Wakanda, so you probably should not relieve yourself in the corner.
Good point, and too late. Oh, one other tiny little thing that T'Challa decides not to mention until now. The hallway they're about to enter leads to a forbidden place where the living are not allowed.
Oh, thanks, T'Challa. That's just swell.
Good thing that a challenge like that is catnip for Reed.
I mean, Reed trusts T'Challa, and he knows that there is a great and compelling reason why they must make this journey. A catalyst, a stellar event, coded truths deciphered from ancient texts. What was it, man? What was it?
T'Challa had a dream where he saw a wall and he walked through it.
Fantastic! Any more interesting information we should know about?
Well, this is where all of the bodies of the former Black Panthers are brought to and then laid to rest.
Former, you say? Huh. Well, let's crack open the chem lights and dive into the darkness. Or make that a dive into the bright light, because it looks like dawn is breaking over the Wakandan city of the dead.
In Wakanda proper, another party is taking place. This is one with Queen Shuri, who is the current Black Panther, Storm, and Sue Richards.
Wait a moment. Reed and T'Challa are walking through the city of the dead. The undead are attacking Wakanda. Anubis is rising, and Shuri wants to host a party with her girlfriends?
Not quite. She wants to, well, let me paraphrase. She has some dank herb that will let them travel to the land of the gods, and when they get there, they can fight death.
What?
When they get there, they can fight death.
What?
When they get there, they can fight death.
What?
When they get there, they can fight death.
Okay!
And since these two middle-aged married women want to prove that they are still cool and can hang with the young queen, they give her a subdued
yeah!
And do some drugs and have a spirit walk.
That is a choice that they just made.
Hey buddies, have a bite of these herbs and let's have a chat with death.
We shall see. While the ladies get their herb on, we will go back to the guys' walk. T'Challa leads them into the great temple.
This is a holy place, one that should be revered and respected. So wipe your feet and just ignore that no solicitor sign.
Reed, bringing the mood down, mentions that this is where his friend's bones will be stored when he bites it.
Nice, Reed. Real nice. Also, not the Black Panther anymore. So, thanks for that.
So they enter, and inside is a half-naked cat god who is demanding...
Come to me, son of Jor-El, kneel before Zod!
Well, actually, it's son of T'Chaka, and it's Bast, but basically, yeah.
Meanwhile in the head shop.
Home of the trippin' heroines.
Isn't that supposed to be fighting?
I stand by my statement. The three ladies are slowly moving through the skunk smoke, trying to clear their heads so that they can handle the flying cakes and skipping pies.
Okay, it's not that bad. Besides, the floating pinkies have given the heroes a hint about the direction that they are supposed to go through the chronic cloud.
Then they run across a pack of death dogs.
And are they sure that they are really there?
Yes. Maybe. Sure. Anyway, Aurora calls down the thunder and lightning to deal with the angry puppies in the grass gas.
Sue lends an assist while Shuri moves further through the hash haze and comes face to face with Anubis.
Pause there while we check back out of the cat house. Bast allows T'Challa to stand, then starts grilling Reed about why he is here.
Why? Why? Well, he is the Reed Richards. That's why. Who the heck does this cat lady think she is?
Yeah, not quite the answer that he gives. Reed decides to state that he's there for loyalty, and he was dared by Bentley that he would not go through with it.
So Reed is here, ready to stand by his brother T'Challa. Okay then, Reed must stand by Bast and watch the former Black Panther be judged. Oh, and their fates are now tied together until the day of their death.
If I were T'Challa, I would hesitate for a second. Reed gets himself into some weird stuff.
Amazingly, this is not about Reed right now. For now, we are focusing on the son of Wakanda. Speaking of which, let's figure out why he is here.
Well, Jonathan Hickman had an idea for a sprawling story, and then he wanted to...
Okay, let's try for a less meta answer.
T'Challa had a dream.
Fine. But Bast wants to know what the former monarch's desires are. What is the super secret present that he hopes Santa will bring him this year?
Oh, he wants his old jobs back.
Okay, well, start by filling out this paperwork and let us know what T'Challa is going to want to happen to Shuri. His sister who happens to be all the things he wants to be.
And while he's figuring out that level of ancient Egyptian bureaucracy, let's check out the fever dream that the ladies are in.
Shuri and Anubis are staring each other down. Luckily, the Black Panther has her backup singers to provide the beat, specifically a bolt of lightning and a torrent of invisible blades, and the combined moral support of women power.
With a scream, a jump, and a...
thunk!
Couple of knives to the chest, Shuri makes her point, and as Anubis falls back to recover, his bone army presses an attack.
Back in the non-fighting place, T'Challa is explaining that he cannot choose what happens to his sister. It's just not fair, man.
Oh, my fallen king! You are kneeling in front of the god that gave you your power. If she asks you a question, shrugging your shoulders and saying, well, I don't know, like Rick's teenage daughter, is not going to cut it.
T'Challa does state that he wants to serve his people, and that should be the greatest need.
Yeah, but Bast needs a tool that will handle some epic apocalypses that are on the horizon, like the phoenix frying the sky and a flood washing away Wakanda. Can you handle that truth, buddy? Can you?
I am pretty sure that T'Challa knows the trials of leadership. He's not been doing this just for a nifty jacket. Yeah, he wants the burden.
Okay, then here is the deal. Shuri will stay Queen of the Living, the symbol of power for Wakanda. T'Challa, well, you get a different title. You are now ruler of the necropolis. All hail the King of the Dead, baby.
All hail. The Black Panther with all of the knowledge and power of all of the prior Black Panthers.
Later.
Everyone has returned from their individual adventures, including Alex and the Future Foundation.
Hang on a second, buddy. I missed that. Where did they go on an adventure?
That is for the next issue we cover. For now, it looks like Alex, Artie, Val, and Franklin have all of their arms and fingers. Storm is waving goodbye to Sue, both of whom are wearing sunglasses at the moment for no good reason. But we'll leave them alone for the moment, while we have a small coda with Reed and T'Challa.
Reed and the Black Panther are now tied by a deep bond, one that will tie their fates together, to death and beyond, and will help them in the dark days ahead.
And they promise to be there for each other on that day.
Much like how a friend promises to help another friend move a body in the middle of the night.
Until that day.
Until that day.
But for today, we are going to cover the themes of this issue, starting with this cover. This cover which... I've got a really nice cover right now, but by the time this airs and I've gone to Rose City Comic Con and I've seen my good friend and buddy Carl Kiesel, he will have signed this cover for me. That'll be kind of nice. Yeah, he is the inker in this book, so that'll be kind of neat. I like it. Anyways, this cover, the world's greatest comic mega, because it doesn't say magazine, because there's a...
there's a parrot, a very colorful parrot.
Yeah, that is like in front of whatever is out after mega. I think it's just mega, right? Anyways, Fantastic Four. And on the cover, we've got, front and center, we've got Invisible Woman, and she's kind of, her legs are transparent, but then the rest of her body you can see, and it's more opaque. Behind her, we've got Shuri as the Black Panther crouching in the forest jungle area, and we have Storm wearing a very nice bikini, indeed.
Classic jungle bikini wear.
Kind of classic jungle bikini wear. She's got this jagged, wicked-looking knife in one hand, but she's standing in this tree. It's 3 of the most powerful women in the Marvel Universe on a cover of a book. That looks really good. Yes, please?
Yeah, it is a great looking cover. I love what they did with Sue. The fact that her lower half is transparent, and so that you can see the scenery behind it, and then it fades into her solidity where you can't see through it, which is really, it's neat. It's very interesting. It is a cool looking cover.
Frank Cho and Jason Keith did the cover art on this, and it is very, very good. I highly recommend people take a look at this. This is one that would be on many a teenager's wall.
I would believe that. Where would they be able to see this cover? Why? Could it be on our website for the episode? For this issue we're covering?
We put this cover up and we put like a few other things, like all the pictures that we're about to talk about too. But nice segue. Nice segue indeed. They're part of this book. These 3 go on their own little magic walkabout, which I guess we can talk about. There are 2 battles in this book, one that's very cerebral and one a peyote-filled fight.
Yep, it is. It really is. Just Shuri's body man brings a box, and she says, I've got some herb. With it, we can see the gods, and then we can journey to them and fight death.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not sure you're really going anywhere, but, Wakanda's pretty kooky. They got all their vibranium laced every plant and everying, so you bet it happened.
I mean, like I said, peyote-filled fight. Mm-hmm. I watched Young Guns too.
Oh yeah, we're in the spirit world.
Yeah, pretty much.
You see the size of that chicken?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on here. But they take this herb and they go and they fight Anubis.
Yeah, they get high, they fight God,
and it's a pretty killer fight. It's a little confusing, as it should be, because it's a drug-filled haze. Yep. And it looks like they're winning, but then it also looks like Anubis is about ready to come back and cause some damage, and then we're back in Wakanda.
Yeah,
so
it's funny. Well, because like Storm is blasting these Egyptian temple dogs to pieces with her lightning, and it's like, these are breaking apart real easy. And then Anubis comes, she blasts him with lightning, a big blood splat happens. Sue is then shooting giant blades through him. She literally cuts off his head, his arms, and his torso. She just flings all the limbs off of him, and it's all so that they can set up Shuri to jump up and stab him with some knives, because that's the thing that's going to do the job.
But then the army still comes, and it still is coming.
Yeah, the undead army come, and then Bast in her giant panther form shows up and rips and tears at Anubis, and then that fight is done, and the day is won, because they had a goddess cat come and save their day. And
possibly that has something to do with what happens on the other side.
I believe it is.
Black Panther says, you know what? Here's what I want. Bast says, yeah, well, that's not what you're going to get. How about this offer? How about my counter offer? Instead of going back in your old job, I got a nifty new job for you. How would you like to be the king of the dead?
Yeah, because he goes there and she's like, what do you want? And he's like, well, I want to know why I was summoned. She's like, no, that's not the question. The question is, what do you want? Because you came here for something. Well, I want my old jobs back. I want to be king and I want to be Black Panther again. Yeah, that can be done. You're my favored son. But what's going to happen to the current ruler of Wakanda and the current Black Panther? I don't want to have anything to happen to her. That would be wrong. Okay, you want your cake and eat it,
I still say that the most important lesson that people of our age ever learned as children came from that seminal movie in 1984 called Ghostbusters, where Gozar, the Gozerian, says to Ray, are you a god? And he says no. And we are told by Bill Murray that when somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes. That's kind of what this boils down to. You go in there And if you're asked a question by a god, the answer's not no or I don't know. You need to come up with, this is what I want.
Yeah.
You need to got the answers. If you're going to make that spirit journey, if you're going to make any kind of journey like this at all, you need to have the answers ready to go. At least, Shuri and her girls, they went into their spirit quest pretty well set. Hey, we're going to go somewhere, we're going to fight. You ready? Let's go.
Yeah. That was their whole thing. Now, that was the thing with T'Challa that kind of got me, because he's like, I want my jobs back. And she's like, well, then something has to happen to your sister. Oh, I don't want anything to happen to her. It's like, you kind of have to make a choice here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also that aspect of that you could be a boy king if you want to. I can make you king again. But there's bigger callings. There is higher stuff going on. Here's a peek.
Yeah.
So you could do that, or you could be something better. You could be salvation. You could save everybody.
Yeah.
Are you able to step up to that? He never really answered that direct question. He was like, I will be the tool you need me to be. It's like, that's still not really answering the question. That's still a little wishy-washy on his part.
Let me ask you this. Is your sister a little bit more willing? Because maybe we'll take her and you can go ahead and be the little king you want to be. Because, just saying.
I've said you're my favorite son, but maybe I got a really
good daughter.
Daughter that really might be the one that I need to be talking to here about fighting a phoenix and mass splitting.
I forgot to look this up, but I'm pretty sure that this is the first introduction of the Black Panther coming in as the King of Necropolis, which is something that now is a fact in comic books going forward. The King of Wakanda is the King of the Dead, the King of Necropolis, which is kind of cool and something that I would love the MCU to kind of pick up and take running with it, because it's something very cool to be introducing into the MCU. It's very akin to the part of Return of the King and Lord of the Rings where you got Strider going down and making a deal with all the dead soldiers like, hey, you all got one more fight left in you? Because I got a battle.
They could do something like that. I'm curious to see what kind of power upgrade or power change that it does, because Bass says you will have all of their strength and basically all their strength from their victories and their knowledges. So you know what they know, and you know you have their strength. So I'm like, is it a combined strength kind of thing? Is it
That's something that they did adapt into the MCU when they did the first Black Panther movie, is Black Panther always had the ability to go and talk to those Black Panthers before him. In fact, they used that in the second Black Panther movie as well, by having Shuri go and see Killmonger, who was a Black Panther, and be able to get advice from him as well. So it's something that they have put into the mythos now of Black Panther, which, once again, Jonathan Hickman bringing in some pretty cool stuff that they can move forward with and changing what the status quo looks like in the Marvel Universe. Yeah. What else to say about this book that we can't say with all of our other stuff that we got going on? You ready to pull out the Thunder Sword and say thunder, thunder, Thundercats ho?
Thunder, thunder, Thundercats, Wakanda!
All right. Final thoughts then. Gallery of Greatness. What piece of art in this book needs to be pinned to a tree in the forest? Because that's what we're doing now. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start it off. And for any of the kids listening out there, until you become a little bit older, the answer to this question is no. But for now, come on. Everybody does it. Shuri offering the herbs to the other ladies.
Is that this one?
That's that one.
This picture? That's my exact one. I called that. It's on page 7 of Marvel Unlimited. I called it Premium Blend.
I said, come on. Everybody does it.
That's why I was stressing at the jokes that it's two older married women wanting to prove that they're cool to a young hip queen. Yeah, we can party. We're not asleep by 9 and doing PTA meetings.
This herb will take me to that other place. It's just the hooded Black Panther offering 3 little leaves in a box.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yep. Let's get some herb.
That's our backup one. Our top one, going off of that, is Bad Trip Dude, because this is Anubis appearing in flames.
Yeah, that's a great picture. I did not pick that one. It was on my short list for good stuff.
That ended up being my top joke one, because I'm like, all right, so we're tripping, right? Whoa, that's a big dog in flames.
Yeah,
whoa, dude.
Whoa. It's kicking
in. Way I do a newbie. Is everybody seeing this? Is everybody seeing this?
The edibles are kicking in.
Does everybody see this big dog on fire here?
Is this for real?
All right.
I did not pick that one.
We are only going with the comic books give us, all right? That's all I'm saying.
We work with what we have been given. And what I've been given is something on page 18, which I call Proof Cats Are Better Than Dogs. And that is a picture of Bast attacking and ripping Anubis in half, thereby tying up the thrill seeker lady's nighttime adventure.
Yeah. Just kind of ending that. Just like, hey, we're having a good fight here. And then all of a sudden, Bast comes in and just eats the bad guy.
Yep, just took care of that.
We couldn't have started with that major attack? No, got to build up to it. Got to get the power bar up. All right.
They had to chain combos to get their power meter to the point where they could summon God. They had their ultimate maneuver.
My backup best art is It's Morning in Necropolis.
Yay, that's my backup too. It's on page 5. I called it Cool Basement.
They're in Necropolis underground, and there's this sunrise coming up, and it's this beautiful city underneath these cliffs with trees in the background. Yeah, I don't know where we are, but we ain't in Kansas anymore.
No, they went deep underground where there's a lovely valley with trees and sun and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it is. It's weird. I'm going to say that this necropolis is in the realm of the gods kind of thing, so it can be whatever it wants, and that's why Bast is hanging out there, and she's not just in a dark room in somebody's basement.
We are men of a certain age, and we tend to do a lot of references to Monty Python. And I would like to go ahead and continue that tradition right now by saying, bring out your dead! Bring out your dead!
Hey! 3 out of 4! Same, buddy!
And this is where Anubis is falling and the dead are rushing in. Because that's, they've taken out Anubis, he's fallen down, and there's a whole bunch of dead skeletons coming in, and it's pretty darn neat.
It's on page 15, and I called it Anubis Don't Play. Yeah, that is an awesome one. That is so cool. We picked 3 of the same ones in the exact same spots. That's pretty rare. That's awesome.
That is not what we normally do, but...
No, I think that's wonderful.
All right. Sometimes you're not that dumb, Jeff. Oh, we're at rubber and glue moment.
Hurts every time.
Hurts every time. All right. Shuri, while she is leading her sisters to their smoking room, she is telling them a little bit about what they're going to be doing. And she makes a little reference about what her plans are. And it is, I'm going to snap back at the jackal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's going to be bringing the fight to Anubis by doing her thing, and I just like how she says that, I'm going to snap back at the jackal.
It's pretty good words.
It's good ones. Yep. Good ones there for rubber glue, too. It's telling you what she's going to do. She's going to take care of that. She's calling him a jackal, too, which that's another thing. What do you got?
Those jackal-headed gods, so yes, Guardians of the Dead. I have something similar to that, and it is after Shuri and the smoke crew get to the spirit world, and she's packing her blades, and she's looking, and she's like, there you are. I see you, jackal. Now see me. And Anubis' response is, I'm Muhey Anubi! Well, he's bursting out of the smoke clouds on fire as a necrotic dog beast man. Just super cool. I mean, anytime, if your snapback at anybody casting grief your way is just to yell your name at them, heck yeah, baby, that's a good comeback.
Yeah, it works for Namer. In Necropolis, when Reed and T'Challa are having their first audience with Bast, her first comments to Reed are, it's a bit of a cut there, a little bit very dismissive, but you have brought a Northman here to the hidden city, child. I just like how, I like that because we tend to use a lot of words, especially here in America and especially in what we consider the West, of looking at other countries and classifying other countries in a certain way. And I like the fact that we have this Egyptian god that's doing the same thing and just like dismissing it like, here's a Northman. Here's this area of this world that is beneath me. And just, I like that. I like that concept that's there. You have brought a Northman here. Why would you do that?
I also like the fact that she's calling T'Challa a child. Because though he is a Black Panther and a superhero and a king and many, many things, he's still just a child to her because she's seen so many Black Panthers and kings and queens come and go. And
when you're a god, everybody's a child to you.
Yeah. So it's neat just to hear that little cut where it's not dismissive, but it is just kind of, it very quickly and easily puts, here's the playing fields that you're at. You are a child in comparison to this being. So you are a child.
Yeah. What is your best one that you've got?
Shortly after your Northman thing, Bast is telling Reed that he can leave if he wants. You know, it's like, this is going to get pretty serious. I will not fault you. I will allow you to leave if you want. And Reed's response is, I will stand. And Bast tells him, remember those words.
Yeah.
Which I like just due to the simple fact that it's like, yeah, you say that now, but remember you said that because you may not want to say that later.
Yeah. you may have made a mistake. Before you sign that paperwork, maybe read the fine print, all right?
Maybe go talk to your wife, because maybe you need a grown-up to kind of like sign off on what's happening, because...
Yeah, he can't right now because the adult in the room's a little high.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a little bit.
All right, Parent of the Year award. Reed Richards Award for good parenting. I think this might be coming to the line. I don't know, but I'm going to go a different route in this one. I'm going to actually say a good parent. And hear me out here. It's actually something you just said. It's Bast.
Oh, yeah.
She's a good parent. She's like, all right, my children are here. You want to talk to me? Let's talk. I'm not going to give you the answers. I'm going to let you figure out what the answer is, and then we're going to go forward. Here's an opportunity for you to make choices on your own without me giving you those choices. So
I might guide you a little bit. I might give you a little bit of information, but you gotta make your choice, and you gotta realize there's consequences for actions.
Yep.
Here you go. No, Bast is a great one. She was my instinct one to go to, but I didn't go for Bast. I went for Soooo for the other kind of Reed Richards award.
I might argue with you on this one just a little bit without going too detailed on this, but I would say that she is making choices as an adult. Her kids are not there. They're doing their other thing, which we will get to. She's in a safe environment. She's with her safe friends, and I'm sure there's safe people outside that are watching her.
I'm doing it mostly as a joke. Some of this, a lot of these are going to be as a joke. I'm picking Sue as a joke because it's like, what kind of mother lets her children run rampant in the jungle with a whole bunch of wild, dangerous animals to go get high with her friends in her friend's basement?
Sounds like a great parent to me. You
got to get your relaxation on where you can. I have fond memories of the last time I was over and we drank whiskey. It was very similar. It was great. Kids did whatever and we did what we did. So mine is a joke.
Okay.
But I thought it was funny and I'm going to stand with it.
Well, let's see about how well you stand with your most popular and your most shunned, where we identify the characters who are the best in this issue and the characters who were the worst. My worst in this issue? Shuri.
Same. But why?
My reasoning, she did not appear at the airport to wave goodbye to Sue.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's the only thing I could come up with.
Again, joke. She's a young queen, hip, pressuring these older married women into trying to act cool like they're still young and can party, getting her friends high. And also, her whole thing was that she was just going to go stab death with a couple of knives. I mean...
Okay, my argument against that would be, there ain't that much pressure she gave. That was no pressure. And as far as people that would easily be able to say no, Sue Richards and Storm, both of them have learned to say no to, I was going to say people stronger than Shuri, but I wouldn't take that back, because I wouldn't say that there's a lot of men in the Marvel Universe who are much weaker than Shuri. So
she succumbed to peer pressure.
I think that they could easily say, we've seen them say no to a whole bunch of people. They could easily have said no to Shuri if they wanted to.
We have seen so many things about peer pressure, just saying no to this kind of peer pressuring that went on. Yet still they succumbed because they wanted to seem cool.
There was not that much pressure.
You want to get high? Okay.
My best, and this is going to be a first for me, I've got two best.
Ooh, cheater, Mr. Pumpkin Eater. Who's your second? Who's your first best?
Storm and Sue. They are the best wing women ever.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at it, I'm like, in this issue, they are pretty well tied in there because of what I think is the best. Your friend in Queen says, hey, I need some help. Here's what I want to do. I want to get high and fight a god. Okay. We're there for you. Those are some good friends. Those are some real good friends. But at the same time, it makes me also think that Shuri is so much worse because she did not go to the airport to say goodbye to Sue.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was early and she had some other stuff going on. I mean, there's only so much room in the Uber.
Yeah, likely story. Who is your best?
I picked Reed just because I thought he was a good wingman for T'Challa. He stood up to a god and explained it was like, it doesn't matter if I'm a Northman or not. The reason I'm here is out of loyalty. This man is my friend. He is my brother. I am with him. He's a ride and die is what he is. He was there with her.
At least we both picked the wing people, so that's really all that matters.
Yeah. Yep. So we picked the best for the wings.
All right. Let's figure out what is the best on our list. We want to look at the top grades and evaluate each issue against the other issues with Power Pack in them. And there was a moment at the very end where Alex Power was there saying, hi, we had a cool adventure. Yep. And so we have to cover this.
That's who.
We have to cover
He was there.
Man, we are just milking this Power Pack thing so much.
Grasping at straws. So many straws.
All right. So we have here a whole list of comics that we can be looking at, starting with Month of Mourning, Fantastic Four 588. Down at spot number 31, we've got Loners Volume 1. Issue number 1, where Maddie convinces Chris to hunt down drug makers. Spot 60, the FF Fix Doom's Brain. And then at the bottom, we still have the Loners number 3. Jeff, where are you thinking on this one here? This is kind of fun. This is kind of fun. Little weird, but kind of fun.
Let's do my standard thing. In spot 47 is Fantastic Four, issue number 607, Inert, and that was the previous issue. Better, worse? What are we thinking?
This one's better because we got more information.
Agreed. Fully agree. I do think it's a lot better. How much better, though? Because it's seeming some stuff up above it is looking pretty good, too, though.
Spot number 36, we've got Days of Future Franklin. That's Franklin's birthday party.
Oh, Franklin's birthday party.
Yeah, that one I wanted to be a lot better than it was. Mm-hmm. This one's a little bit more fun. This one's just a lot of weirdness, but this is a little bit more fun.
This has got a lot of great stuff going on. Yeah.
Oh, actually, right above it, we have Final Exam number 4, where Vanessa kills Jeremy and Julie punches a rock, which that's a pretty good ending. I think that this would actually fit right in between those two.
I could see that. Yep. I can agree. I think that's really good. I can see it being, it's going to replace Franklin's birthday at spot 36.
Yeah. That's
great
what
with it going there.
Okay. All right. Then that will be our new number 36. There we go. Well, I'm doing a little bit of math and stuff over here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about some of your thoughts on this beer, Storm Walker by Falling Sky?
Mm-hmm. The tingle on the front of the tongue is still there, but it's more subdued. The dusty taste, the wheat chaff kind of grippy tongue at the end is still there. It's a pleasant beverage. It's not what I'd instinctively go to all the time. It has there is a bit of acidity to it. There is a bit of a rough edge going on with it. It's a little coarse. It's a decent beer. It's not hitting it out of the park for me. It's a 3.5.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. This is fine. This is good. This is a nice, simple beer. It's an Irish red ale, which is not something that we normally drink. It's not a very popular type of beer that it normally gets produced. So that being said, I don't have much to really go with it, but I do enjoy it. I like it a little bit.
Yeah, again, it's decent. It is drinkable. It just has some edges on it that aren't the best. Like you were saying, it's not one that we get access to very often because it is not a super popular beer style.
I see what you're saying. I kind of believe you're right. At the same time, one thing I like about it is it does have a nice drinkability.
It has a great drinkability, but the after drinkability of it is, again, like I said, a little coarse, a little acidic, a little grippy. It's
like that at the beginning, and you're right, near the end, there's a little bit of acid that's on there, too. Yeah, maybe I will train you up to 3.5. I like that centerpiece. I like when it's on the tongue, going down the throat, that's really where it's strong at.
Putting it near the middle, a good high middle, just because that middle of it is great when it's going down the tongue and going down the throat. That is a nice one. So, 3.5s around. But what's a perfect 10 for me is Kids Perspective, and that's where Rick talks to his 13-year-old daughter, Carrie, about the issue that we just covered. So Rick and Carrie, take it away.
Hello, Carrie.
Hello, Daddy.
How are you tonight?
Good, and you?
I'm all right. Just here talking about a little bit of a comic book, right?
Yep.
This is the continuation from the prior issue, where T'Challa and the new Black Panther invited over Reed and his wife to help him out with a problem, right?
Yeah.
And now we know what the problem is, right?
Sort of.
What did you take away from this book? Let's focus on T'Challa and Reed. What did you get out of the conversation between T'Challa and Reed and Bast?
Well, he's really asking a favor from Bast because he wanted to be king again. Mm-hmm. And Bast said, well, would you rather be a king or save your people? And I guess that was a big moment for him.
Yeah.
It was, and then eventually they decided, well, sure, he's going to continue being queen, but he can be king of Dead World.
Pretty much. Yeah. He's going to be in charge of the kingdom of the dead and all of the Black Panthers that died before him, kind of a bit like...
King of Kings.
Yeah, kind of a bit of he's in charge of Norse mythology Valhalla, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering if this was like a step up, a promotion.
Could be.
I mean, you're hanging around with a bunch of dead people, but you know, it's past kings, so...
Right?
Could be cool, could be annoying a lot of the time.
Yeah.
That's how it usually is.
And Reed is there to help him out and to stand by his side, right?
Yeah.
Good friend.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody that's like that? Do you have a friend who would stand by your side if you were tasked with...
No.
Wow.
Actually, probably. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I probably would. I just know a few of my friends just would not want to go to the world of the dead with me. I know a few that might.
Those aren't good friends.
Well, yeah, but one's a germophobic, so, you know.
Yeah, but she also can throw knives and stuff.
Well, yeah. That has really nothing to do with being dead, but, you know.
Let's talk a little bit about the other story. What was your takeaway from Shuri and Storm and Sue Richards?
It was like a big battle summarized by like 10 panels.
Yeah, and how did they get to that battle?
The 8 leaves.
Okay.
It was a strange B plot, but you know, we're gonna go with it.
So they ate leaves, and they went into a dream world.
And they smelled death.
And fought a god, right?
And they won. Pretty easy.
Any questions?
No, not really. It was pretty simple. Just why is it short?
Well, let me just say this to you, Carrie. Until you become an adult, if any of your friends want you to eat a leaf to help them go on a quest to kill a god, I'd like you to say no. Okay?
But these are good friends.
Yes. Yes, they are.
They're superheroes.
But they're also adults.
Oh, yeah.
Carrie, I'm telling you, don't do drugs, okay? That's what I'm telling you, okay?
Oh, okay. Yep, okay. It was really dramatic. They're like, okay, will you do this with me? Take this leaf, eat it. Oh my gosh, guys, careful, there's gonna be... I smell something. It smells like decaying whatnot. Oh my gosh, there are these dead creatures, wolves, attacking us. But they break too easily. What's gonna happen? A god! Attack him! Stab him!
That, my dear, is called a trip. They were tripping. They were high. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying.
I'm in middle school. I know what term tripping means.
But don't do it. All right?
Oh no, this stuff only... I wouldn't do that.
I know you would. You're a good kid.
Besides, I don't know if any of my friends would actually hand me a leaf and say, let's go kill a god, friend. No.
I don't know. I can think of one friend that probably would.
We might be thinking of the same friend.
We probably are. All right. So, any other questions about this book?
No.
All right. That's all the questions I have for you, and that's the end of our public service announcement on not doing drugs to a high schooler. So
please don't.
We can now mark this up to an educational show. So thank you very much, Carrie.
You're welcome.
I love you.
Love you too.
Yeah, I could make some recreational jokes and when-you're-older jokes, but I'm not even going to say that. Just be a good wingman for your friends, Carrie. Be a good wingman for your friends.
Shout out time. We'd like to recognize those listeners that give us a little bit of respect on the internet and tell us that they liked our stuff by giving us some thumbs up. And this is for episode 165, Adventures Academy number 39, Commencement.
Hoover Jeremiah.
Jeremy Daw, who said, this title has indeed been a delightful and unexpected good read. I was kind of out of collecting current titles at the time, so this is different, collected, than had I read it monthly.
Jeremy Wiggins.
And our friend Sean Ross. Also, we'd like to thank those people that give us just a little bit of money to continue doing this show, and that includes our people over on Patreon, like Adorably Astonishing and Amazing Andrew Burns.
Cheerfully Cheeky and Charming Char Logan.
Challenging Cheesy and Chuckling Charles Gears.
Destructive and Devastatingly Delightful Damian Witter.
Dynamically Dangerous and Devious Doug Jones.
Intelligent, Interesting, and Innovative Isaac Perry.
Jesting, Joking, and Jovial Jeff Bollier.
Just Jealous and Jeweled Jeremy Daw.
Muscly, Mighty, and Meticulous Matthew Birdsey.
Mythical and Magnificent Monologuing Matthew Laserwitz.
Steely, Salty, and Steamy Sailor Bear Zodar.
Sad and Sickeningly Silly Shag Matthews.
Tyrannically Terrifying and Tame Tim Price.
Way Wordy and Wobbly Waffles. So what was the Future Foundation doing while the adults were busy with the important work saving Wakanda? Well, we'll need to find out by checking out FF number 19, Safari.
Please be sure to check out my daughter's comic strip on our website. Just search for Jeff and Rick Present Tales of Tales.
And we have some merchandise available on Redbubble. Go to redbubble.com and search for Unpacking the Power of Power Pack.
Jeff and Rick Present is a bi-weekly self-produced podcast recorded in front of a live studio audience of a lot of open comic books that were just signed today in Portland, Oregon. If you would like to interact with us through the magic of the internet, you can do so through Blue Sky at Jeff and Rick Present, our Facebook page, Jeff and Rick Present, our email address, jeffandrickpresent, all one word at gmail.com, or at our website, jeffandrickpresent.wordpress.com. Also, we got a YouTube channel at Jeff and Rick Present.
And if you would like to help support our show, we are on Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com, Jeff and Rick Present, all one word. We are also a proud supporter of the Hero Initiative, and we'll be donating 10% of our Patreon donations to this great cause. We encourage everyone to give what they can to this worthwhile organization that helps the creators who provide us with such great content. Go to heroinitiative.org to find out more.
Please rate and review us wherever you can. Tell your friends about us or share your love for us on social media.
And as always, we want to thank the powerful people in our packs.
My wife Cindy and our daughter Carrie.
My fiancée Hillary and our daughter Aurora.
We love you.
Until next time, costumes off.
Our theme music is 80s Action by Kevin MacLeod. Also featured in this episode is They Have Taken Cursed by Sasha Ende. Our music is found in thecoptech.com and is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. So, did you see that I totally messed up putting out last episode?
Did you not put it up, or what happened?
No, I put it up. I put up the raw, completely unedited version.
Oh. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, somebody sent us in an email like, I didn't know if that was a joke or what, but it wasn't funny. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh.
What do you mean? All of our jokes aren't funny. How dare you?
Thunk.
In Wakanda proper, another party
Thunk.
Sue lends an assist while Shuri. Okay.
Thunk.
A couple of knives to the chest. Shuri. No.
Yeah.
Couple of knives to the Nah. Because I already did an
Thunk.
Yeah, but Bass needs a tool that will handle some epic
Thunk.
Storm is waving goodbye to Sue, both of whom happen to be wearing black sunglasses for no good reason.
Storm is waving bye to Sue and thanking her for the rug that really has tied her room together.